Hello guys, hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you've been here before, but welcome if you are new. And today I'm going to be giving you guys some Kindle Unlimited recommendations for you guys, for your Kindle. Duh. So many readers use and adore and love Kindle Unlimited. And if you do not know what KU is, I'm just going to explain it to you, if you've been living under a rock. But if you have, I'm not gonna fault you. Like, if you've been living under a rock, live under your rock, have fun with this membership at Amazon, and you subscribe monthly with a price.
It's not free. Everyone's like, oh, free books. It's not free because you sign up with a subscription. That's how they get you.
So you pay monthly, and once you pay the subscription and you're added, then you get unlimited access to like thousands and thousands of books. So I guess it is a good deal because you do get a lot of like books, but I mean, it definitely is an expense. So like going into that, you should know that. I have my handy dandy Kindle. This is a really old one, so I'm not gonna say what it is because this is an extremely old Kindle. Like I got this a millennium ago. I don't know, it's been ages. I also use the Kindle app on my phone. Like, if you don't have a Kindle, like a lot of people worry about that, like, do I need a Kindle to start reading ebooks? No, you can just download the Kindle app on your phone. It's free to download and you can read on your phone. We're just gonna get right into it. I tried to give some recs of things that weren't too like, oh, everybody reads these, We're gonna do Small Town. So for Small Town first, I would just say Lucy Score. I mean, this is a popular one. Lucy Score, she has really good series. I think her books are super fun and they're so easy to read. They are pretty long, but they're extremely fun. So you have the Knock 'Em Out series by her, which is Things We Never Got Over, Things We Hide from the Light, and then recently Things We Left Behind. I think this series is complete and done. And she also has like some other standalones. Forever Never, this is another one of her books that are also on KU. So if you're like, oh my god, this huge book intimidates you, read it on KU. And sometimes, people fly through like really big physical books on KU with no problem. So yeah, really love her books. So I would recommend. Another really popular small town romance author that I personally also love is Stephanie Perry. I really love her Clifton Ford series. This is another one that I would recommend. And she does like romantic suspense, and so there's like always that subplot, and they're all set in Montana in some small towns, so really cool setting. You always get like some found family, really cute scenes. I really like her book. Another small town, I have Meet Me Halfway. This book is actually a single parent romance actually, and I don't remember the author at the moment. I think her name's like Lillian or something. That's what's popping in my head. But Meet Me Halfway, I think this book was super cute. It's a standalone, so there's no commitment. It's single mom. I think it's Grumpy Sunshine, and I'm pretty sure it might be age gap. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I really liked this one when I read it. Mara Zapata, you have so many of her books, but like one I would recommend would be Wait For It. This one is also a single mom romance, so kind of did the same thing here. Meet Me Halfway. This one's also single mom. It's also Grumpy Sunshine in a sense. I think most of her books follow that same pattern of the hero being like super grumpy, but this is one I've read by her that I actually really enjoyed. It's a really long one, like all of her books, and extremely slow burn, so just know that going into it. But this is one I've enjoyed by her, so I would recommend it. Some like dark romances, because that's like my personal preference, so I have a lot of recommendations for that. I'm gonna try to separate it. So first we have forbidden romances. The queen for forbidden and taboo romances will forever and always be QB Tyler. She writes the most forbidden and taboo stuff you will ever think of, but it's always super entertaining. Love Unexpected is actually a really popular one by QB Tyler, and this is like one of like the first ones I read by her, but this one's extremely taboo. It's like stepdad, stepdaughter. Whoa, so extremely huge age gap for this one. So yeah, don't go to like any of these books without checking your trigger warnings, because it's not going to be my fault that you read a book that was too much for you. You're an adult. Use your brain. If you're reading, you know how to read. If you're reading, you know how to read. Like, no freaking duh. If you're reading books I think you know how to comprehend certain things. So read your trigger warnings, guys, before you go into these books. Another taboo romance would be The Truth About Tomorrow by B. Celeste. I actually ate this book up and didn't really think I was going to, because this one is extremely taboo. She was adopted by these two characters I read in like the previous book, and then I think he is like the adoptive brother of her adoptive mom. It's so weird. It just shows the loopholes that these authors will go to just to make their book like legal. Really huge age gap with this one as well, and it's also a chunker, extremely huge, but it was really good. Okay, and now we're gonna move on to some Mafia romances. I have Lilith Vincent. I love Lilith Vincent's books. Her books are so fun. I don't think a lot of people talk about hers that much, but they're so fun. They're just so chaotic. They remind me of like Wattpad, but like in the best way. Like, really loved the First Comes Blood trilogy. I don't know what it's really called, but I know the first book's called First Comes Blood, and this is a reverse harem, also with age gap. So I think it's 4 guys, 1 girl, and it's so good. Possessive men eating it up, babes, eating it up. The Perfectly Imperfect series by, I do not want to fumble this name. I will fumble it so badly. I don't even want to say it. I don't want to fumble her name, but we have the Perfectly Imperfect series by this lovely woman. I think I talked about this series before in one of my other wrap-ups on my channel, but I really do enjoy this series. I think this is a perfect, like, good starter Mafia series. It's like lighter on the Mafia and lighter on like the darkness. It's really not that bad with triggers and everything, and they're really quick reads. They're super short, and they're just so easy to fly by, and I think they're really cute. Like, they're cute, but they still have their dark elements. They're really fun, and they have like all those like similar tropes in Mafia, like arranged marriage, age gap, like all that stuff. Super grumpy hero, super possessive, like the same tropes that are constantly talked about. This series is a super popular one. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about it, and that is Kimura Chronicles by Cora Riley. I know that her Born in Blood series is like her most popular, but in my opinion, the Kimura Chronicles is way better. Love the books in this series. I eat them up. Your morals are questioned. Feminism is out the window, but you eat it up, babes. You eat it up, and like the plots usually like flow into the same book, and there's found family, and I love it. I love it so much. So another queen that is, she's definitely like gotten big on TikTok like as of lately, and everyone's been reading her books, and that's Rena Kent, the Rena Kent. Her Legacy of God series is definitely my favorite. It's everything chef's kiss. Please read those books. They're so good. Definitely darker than like I would say Cora Riley's books, so please check your triggers. These ones are pretty dark, but I don't think they're extremely dark. I don't know. I've read some really dark stuff. Like, I'm into some really dark stuff. So for me, this is nothing, but I mean for you it might be too much. So check your triggers, babes. Check your triggers. This is one of my favorite Mafia series of all time. That's the Dark Verse series by Rio Next. I love this series. I eat it up. So good. It's Mafia, but it's definitely beginner into Mafia as well, kind of like the Perfectly Imperfect series. But this series, it's truly like one of the best examples of enemies to lovers I've ever seen in a book. Because a lot of times I see enemies to lovers and they're not enemies, babes. They're nowhere close to enemies. These two, in the first 2 books, because the first 2 books follow the same couple, they are enemies. They are true enemies. Like, oh, we want to kill each other, like enemies. Like, it eats down. It truly eats down. So yes, read this book if you read this series if you want true enemies to lovers. Clearly, I basically realized that my list is pretty much made up of dark romances, so if you don't like dark romances, this video is not going to be for you. But next I have Blood of the Saints. I actually do not remember the author for this one, sadly, but I did really love this book, and I've never heard anyone talk about it ever. The plot was just so unique. I think the female main character was like a undercover investigator or something. Like, she was like some undercover, like, not a spy, but like she was like working for the FBI, and she was like tracking these like killers or whatever, which is like the 3 main guys, and they basically catch on to her and they capture her. They're trying to find out all her secrets. It's Captor Captive, and it is so good, so smutty, so great. I'm about to like say some like, I'm about to just give a few of some really dark recs for a second. Just a few little, if you're really depraved and you're really looking to, you know, like really question your morals and your sanity, truly, this book is really freaking twisted. They're like graduating high school, so they're like 18, 19, I don't know. But this one was extremely dark. I don't know, I think I read this one like a year ago or something. It's been a minute, but I definitely read this one a while ago. I just remember it being super dark. The guy is extremely morally gray. Like, he's not even a good guy. Like, I don't even know how they even end up together. He's not a good guy. He's not a good guy. Like, he's not a good guy at all. Just know that. But it's extremely dark, and if you're into that, I think you'll like it. It's super messy, super angsty, but super dark.
I recommend it. Obviously, I recommend.
Harley LaRue. I love Harley LaRue. I pretty much own like all the books I've read by her. Her Souls trilogy is all on KU, and I recommend all the books. I haven't read them all. I've only actually read Her Soul to Take. I know it's shameful, but I have Soul of the Witch saved on my Kindle. I'm so excited to read it. I really do want to get the physical copy though, because I do have the physical copy of Her Soul to Take. Now I'm going to give you guys some like kind of fantasy recs or supernatural fantasy things if you like fantasy. Zodiac Academy. This is a no-brainer. I love Zodiac Academy. If you've been on my channel, you know this. I love these books so much. It's fantasy, it's bully, dark romance. I wouldn't say these are like extremely dark. It has the bully element, and that's what makes them dark. But besides the bullying, I don't really consider the books dark, especially for my standards. But I guess for somebody new into it, I would say it's darker than your average like fantasy romance, I would say. But it's very good. The plot is super intriguing and engaging, and you get found family, you get a lot of characters, a whole band of characters to love, and you get multiple couples to root for. So yeah, I really love this series, and it's still ongoing, and it's really long, and it's really daunting, it's really intimidating because the books get super huge, but so fun. It's like the most fun reading experience I've ever had. It's so fun, and I would recommend it to everyone. It's trashy. Well, I'll let you know one thing. It's extremely trashy. Don't expect like literature, you know? Don't go into it thinking that you're going to get a masterpiece, but you will have a damn good time. If you just let yourself have a good time, you will have a great time. So yes, Zodiac Academy. Then we have the Dustwalker Bride series by Opal Renee. How do you say her name? I don't know, but this one's kind of fantasy because it's like kind of monster romance. I don't know, it's kind of the list, but I've read A Soul to Keep, the first book, in full. Like, it's mainly smut, but it has kind of a bit of a plot. Kind of a smidge of a plot, you know? Just a smidge. A smidge is all you need sometimes. Then we have Fear the Flames by Lily Rose Darling. Is that her name? Don't quote me on that. Girl basically was like locked up all her life because she has like power, and it's with these dragons. So like her dragons are taken away from her by her family, her cruel father, because the fathers in fantasies are always cruel. And she's basically on a mission trying to get her dragons back, and it's super fun. There's found family, there's like missions, heist, and adventure, and what am I cheering for? What am I doing? But it was really fun. A lot of other fantasy romance readers would really love it. I cannot talk about fantasy romance and not talk about the queen that is Carissa Broadbent. Over summer, I read The Serpent and the Wings of Night, and you know, that duet and her little novella in between. And I also read her standalone Slaying the Vampire Conqueror, and I've enjoyed that book as well. I love her writing, super good, and I think she does a really good job of making the world building in her books pretty easy to read them. They're very good. I'm promoting these offers like they're paying me, but you know, what can you do? Kennedy Ryan has a lot of her books on KU. I think Real is on there, the Hoop series is on there, the group trilogy is on there. What else is, I think she has a good amount of her books on there, so her books, you can have those on there. We have Miss Liz Tomford, my girl, my girly pop, my stan.
My girl, my girly pop, my stan, hello.
Losing my brain cells at this point, but she wrote Mile High and The Right Move, the Windy City series, sports romances, and each book is a different like sport. So Mile High is hockey, The Right Move is basketball, and Caught Up is going to be baseball. And the tropes are super good. I think it's enemies to lovers, fake dating, and then Caught Up is going to be single dad nanny. And those are my KU recs. There's definitely like 5,000 more that I could have given because, like I said, there's so many like books that you have access to on Kindle Unlimited, so it's a little bit overwhelming. So I just wanted to give like some recs to make it you have a start on like what you want to read. You know, I realized this video was filled with dark romance, but what can I say? I'm a dark romance girly till I die. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys got some recs from this. Hope you were able to add some books to your list of stuff you wanted to read. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, come back for more, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.